My name is Dr. Jane Goldberg. Welcome to my show, Musings from 20th Street. I am a psychoanalyst, and I also own La Casa de Spa on East 20th Street. We're here for the 14th session of my Really Real Reality TV group therapy. In the last session, it was really a lot of intense feelings, very heated. We were talking about multiple deaths in the group, and we had we had triplets that were born, and there were a lot of energy around those events. So I thought I would begin talking a little about the meaning of birth and sibling rivalry. So when you're existing in a family, you're a child in a family, and then a new member of the family comes in. We call it a baby. The existing child that's already been in the family, that child hears an unconscious message from the mother saying, "You weren't enough for me. I love you, but you weren't enough. I needed more. I needed another child." And this is really hugely traumatic for the existing already part of the family child, because it's a rejection in a sense. So I think that in that context we need to understand that the intense feelings were related to new babies coming in and the sense of, how come we're not enough? How come you needed more? And usually the aggression is directed toward the mother because, of course, the mother is the bearer of the new life. So there was a lot of aggression directed toward me. And I would really like to be powerful enough to not have any deaths anywhere in the universe, but especially in my world. So that being said, I'll again just reflect. Though I have been talking about being a dictator, I'm essentially impotent. I control so little. So I'm sorry, gang, that we've lost some loved ones.
But have we really lost them? Or they're just MIA? I mean, they're not necessarily dead, correct? We don't really know that.
I think you'd feel better. You guys would feel better if you knew what happened to them, or maybe what. Maybe
Well, are they
somebody
coming
was
back?
sick.
I don't have to know in detail.
Why did Lana, for example, is she not
That I
coming
don't care
anymore,
about.
or what's the status? Would make you
Yeah,
feel
I
comfortable.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
She and
Just
I had
because we
big
don't really know that
issues,
they're
so-
dead, right?
Let's do
Because from
that
what you're
for
saying, their
you.
communication.
Well,
We
they're
really
dead
don't know if
today
they're
for
dead.
us.
Well, they're definitely dead today. I understand.
See, but that's, I think that's.
Now let me ask the
dead
new
dead
people.
is-
Do y'all have an interest in knowing what happened to the dead people?
Sure, why not?
How they died.
I mean, I've been watching the show, so I'm invested.
So they're not.
invested.
So you know, one of them, I
You're
don't
attached.
care
So
if
it's
she's
not
dead.
fair to the viewers,
Oh, yeah, you
too,
do.
right? That's
No, I
the
don't.
Sure,
point.
sure.
The viewers might feel abandoned
Oh,
because they
completely.
invested in a certain
I completely
personality
agree.
or
That's
certain
kind of
character.
about the flow. I mean, they like that. Get
Well, they
invested,
missed me when I
and then they're
wasn't
gone.
here. Jesus,
That's
I
a-
it
agree.
went on for half an
That's
hour.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd like to
Okay.
answer Jane's
Paul's
question.
going to get into my cellular relationship.
I don't feel that much interest
Uh-huh.
myself. A little bit of curiosity, I think, but mostly I'm interested in what's with me right now. Who? With the group of us. And I've had one question has come up. Who is new here today, and who has been here? I'd like to know that.
Well,
Well,
start
we
with
we've
you.
gotta
been
get
here.
over
Yes,
this first.
that I know. I'm new,
Yep.
and I think Adrian, are you new?
Yes, I am.
And anybody else?
I'm new.
Okay, Molly and Adrian.
And you.
And you.
And Walter. Okay, Dee,
Uh-huh.
and what's your name?
Carol.
Carol, and Barbara, Jane, Kay, and Paul, and now I've said everybody's name. I'll remember most of them.
No,
I'll probably
no.
need a little help at points.
Dee, I really want to help you because I think you're in pain about this, and that you called me a kiss ass, and it really hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
But I want to help you
That hurts your
get over this pain, and I think a way, and Barbara shares in it too. You understand them. I don't know how you feel.
She
because you-
agrees.
I think she
Okay.
agrees.
I think, would it be helpful if we found out how they died?
I don't want to speak for you,
Yeah.
but
Because I'd like to. How can we?
But there's
and now-
also another issue.
What, Carol? You want to say something?
yeah,
No, I don't. He said, I don't want to speak for you. I said, then don't. I'll speak for myself, but go ahead.
Do you want to know?
Not, oh, yes, I would
Yeah,
like
we
to
do.
know.
Okay, so can we give that to them?
Well, if I tell you I'll be displeasing Walter, is it okay if I displease
Yes,
Walter since
yes,
he's not
yes,
interested?
yes, please.
I'm all
We
right with
wanna
that.
know.
I,
If that's the
I
way
can
you
come
wanna
from
know.
a place of respect to
Thank
the
you.
rest of you because you have been here.
There's been
Thank
a lot
you.
of
Thank you, that's
hostility
sweet.
I
and
want to
issues
help
with a
them
lot
really
of
get
us in the
because I
group
really
too.
love them.
I'm
That we
sorry.
have not
See the-
That was
solved.
two at once. I couldn't
And
get
Paul,
them
do
both
you
at the
want to
same
know?
time.
No, what? Could you
Do you
just-
want to know the specific manner of death?
In some ways, but can I just say one thing,
Please.
especially addressing Dee and perhaps Walter? It seems to me that this is a side issue that's convenient to talk about when the real issue, I think, and I could be wrong, is the here and now and why we're here and building on what we've already done. And it seems to me that listening behavior to one another is a high point, and I think we reached that the last time we met. And I've been saying it again, and I think in the early
Yeah, but
session,
Paul, I just asked them. I saw their pain. I don't like to see the like.
You're
this.
totally changing the topic.
And I asked them, would it help you if we found out the specifics?
okay.
And they said yes.
And I,
So is it okay with you
Let's just
if
go
we
with
can
that.
do
well,
that?
I said earlier a few minutes ago
Yes
that
or no? Yes or no?
No.
Well, you may
question.
may
Can I
both
just-
be
You're going
right.
on and on and
no,
on.
I
It
want to
may
hear
be-
more about D.
It may
No,
be
why
true.
not?
It may
It's a
We
little
all
random.
want to know that answer.
You
We
may
all
both
wanna
you
know.
may both be right. It may be true that Paul is right that it's a distraction from just being together
Right.
here today,
That's
and
right.
it may
Sure.
also be true that it
Yeah.
would be useful
For
for
his
Dee,
pain,
to know what
Socially,
happened.
I would
Right.
say.
and it sounds like it would be useful for you too.
I'm
You
curious,
want to
but I
know.
can
Right.
live without it.
Uh-huh.
And Paul,
You know
I'd
what
be
I
more
mean?
than happy
But
to talk
he's
about a
very
certain
upset.
Yeah, but
relationship.
you know what?
Barbara is very
And you know what?
upset.
Can I also bring up something
In
else that
another
that's the
session.
elephant in the room? The group.
So
the
can
group
we
that-
do this?
No, but
Can we
no,
find
wait.
out
Let me
what
just
happened?
that it's
Love
part of this.
Okay.
It's the second part of what happened. The reason why I think a lot of us are discombobulated is because a lot of us, as you know, have had issues in this group that because these people are not here and we did share in very intimate details about our lives with these people. And you and I were making a little bit of progress weeks
Wait,
ago.
Barbara, wait. I just want
That's-
to
and they're
help
gone.
Dee.
No,
I want to
no.
help Dee's pain. And the way I want to
it's not
help his
just Dee's
pain
pain.
is to find out what happened to the individuals. Can we
That
do
sounds
that,
great.
Dr. Goldberg, or do we
Sounds
have
great.
to leave it alone? What can I do? Okay, can I go there? Can we go there and help him or not?
Well, I always like giving people what they ask me for.
Okay.
It's an affliction.
So let's start
actually.
with Lana. What happened to Lana?
Well, my don't care is not here.
Lana,
Let's just
I don't know.
Really?
Okay.
I
That's
think
so
Lana
interesting.
probably
Oh.
Did I
screwed
scare
up.
her?
No, I think she probably screwed up the schedule and didn't realize we were shooting
Did
today.
anybody call her?
Well,
'Cause
I
your
sent
producer
out-
did call.
Yeah, I sent out the emails, and
Okay.
I think everybody
Yeah,
was
'cause your secretary is
called,
so
but
good
but you
that-
were called
Yeah,
like a
she
week
called
ago.
me too,
So
twice.
Okay, now how about Reagan?
Regan, I have tried contacting. I called, I emailed.
And now how about Andreas?
That's an interesting one.
Andres. This is
Andres.
more difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
Andres told me he was not coming back.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he-
Oh,
I think we scared the living
Okay.
crap out of
No,
him.
And
So-
Do you
I
enjoy that?
no, I
No, I don't
Do you
enjoy that.
enjoy that?
Paul, you got some issues.
Barbara,
man.
does that
No,
make-
I
does
don't
that-
think so. My issue is your dominance.
Well, honey, I have a dominant personality. Forgive me,
Well,
I came
cool
out of the
your
womb
jets.
with a dominant
Cool your jets.
personality.
Because I think some of the
I never got a
reasons-
divorce, though. Okay, my husband doesn't dislike me.
Don't stop throwing that back in
because
his
he
face.
keeps throwing
That's
shit
really
in my
unfair.
face.
No,
Do you
no.
remember the
Shit in my
fellow
face.
that commented about the cat fight? He's not here.
EJ.
He was sitting where you are sitting now.
And you know what? And we left actually
yeah,
hanging
he
out.
said, I don't like this cat fight that's going on. And I
Actually, he told
gently-
me outside.
I
liked it.
gently asked you what the issue was with your mother, and Jane did a nice job in dealing with the transference with your mother. That you had a combative relationship with your mother, and obviously I believe you were, in my judgment, you were transferring it on to Lana. And
Lana will
and I
never
thought you
be
got
my
on top
mother.
of it.
Why are you feeding
Why
her?
are you
So-
diagnosing?
so
Why are
Dee's-
you feeding her if you want
Perhaps-
her to be silent?
So Dee,
Sort of falling
Right.
apart.
okay,
That's
okay.
all.
I,
Do you
it's
feel
fine.
better?
Okay.
Knowing where
I'll,
they
I'll
went?
take the blame. Paul's theory about why people may not be wishing to come back like Andres is that Barbara dominates so much, and I can't seem to be able to control Barbara sufficiently.
No, you did a pretty good job
Well,
at the end of the
today-
last
A
I
freaking
seem to
wild
not
animal
be-
in a
But
cage.
you jumped
Let's
right
put the-
back
put
at
the-
the
Yeah.
red cape
Yeah.
routine.
But you intimated that perhaps Andres is leaving or EJ is the
Yeah,
one that
EJ,
said
I
that.
was thinking of.
I don't want to be involved in a cat fight. Yeah.
Right.
So your theory is that it may have something to do with Barbara's
I'm the
dominance,
only
which
one
ultimately, since I'm the mother hen, comes back to me that I can't control. Yes.
No, but you
This
did.
wild
You
animal.
did it. It
Yeah,
ended
well,
up being a very
I
nice
resent
session
that, okay?
because we focused in, and you did.
Yeah,
And
but
you
Paul,
know,
you feed her.
perhaps I did, but it's only in response to the.
What am I, a
once
cockroach in the
again,
room here?
no. We ended up with
Shit.
Carol last time, and you did a wonderful job with Carol. And I thought Barbara controlled herself, but she's back at her old behavior.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
You
Wait,
were progressing, Barbara. You really,
honey,
really
I was
were.
progressing until Lana, into 40 minutes of a session. You and I were in the middle of a very intense
I
moment.
thought so, but you're not the same person anymore. I feel like I'm dealing.
I am not.
I'm
Listen,
all-
no, I am not
So-
the same
so
person.
do
I'm
we
in a
wa-
therapy group.
Do we want to stay in the past, or do we want to be with each other now?
It's
wanna-
either.
We wanna
we gotta
tend
go
to
move
one
forward.
We have no
Yeah,
choice.
it's not a matter of both,
You were
Jane.
interrupted a while ago.
One or the
Jane,
other. It's a matter of both.
When you were explaining about undress. You were
I'd love to hear that.
interrupted, and I wanted to hear the end of that.
Yeah, me too.
It's actually quite painful for me that he's not
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Is he
Yeah.
blaming me because he's not here?
He's not blaming anyone.
Oh,
He just phoned you and
he
said,
just-
"I don't want to come anymore. Goodbye."
No, he said he didn't want to come, and then he didn't say goodbye. We had a discussion about it.
But why did he say he didn't want to come
I
back?
don't have an understanding.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
That doesn't. But he hardly said anything when he was here, and we were
That's
trying.
not true.
We were trying to get
No,
things
he-
out of him a lot, and he just didn't. We went to talk about listening. A lot of
It's
times
not-
we asked him
It's not
things,
true
and
that he
didn't
didn't
wanna-
say anything.
No, but it was hard to get.
He
things
made
out of him.
very significant and deep contributions,
Yes,
and it's a real loss
yes,
for me.
Yeah.
yes.
I
It's a
agree.
loss if Regan doesn't come
I agree.
back.
It's a loss that
Yeah, you
Regan.
liked him. I know you had.
I
there was
declared.
something-
I declared my love for him.
Yeah,
In the,
yeah,
the-
yeah. I'm
2 weeks
sorry.
ago.
I'm very
Hatred
sorry
here.
for your loss.
Now, modern analysts use their own induced feelings to try to understand the character of the person. So it was very interesting to me that I declared my love for him,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
the next session he didn't come back.
And then you also said earlier that you don't like when people leave your life.
Mhm.
That was one of your
Mhm.
things.
Right.
And so that is odd. That's the kind of that's the personality that you would
Mm.
gravitate towards,
Yeah.
and then that's the personality that says, "Okay, bye, click."
Yeah.
But I think if I left, Jane would be very happy though. At this point.
Well, but we're talking about undress, and I will miss him too, and I'm sorry.
Me too.
I
You
miss
and the whole
Regan if
group.
she doesn't come back.
Barbara, please.
And then what about Lillian?
Please don't tell me.
Lillian is an interesting.
She is.
Never met
Lillian,
her.
I really don't understand. I mean, I can come up with some theories about why Regan, was uncomfortable, and though I thought she was great, I thought she made a great contribution. EJ was supposed to join from the beginning, and he didn't
Oh,
show up
yeah.
in the beginning, and then, he said, "Is it too late?" So he's got this kind of history of here and there.
Right.
So that, is understandable to me. Lillian, she came for the shoot, and then she said that she thought that it was, when I said when the next shoot was, she said, "Oh, I thought that it was only one day." And I know I tell everybody it's 16 weeks. And how
Feels
many
like
weeks,
one day.
when you're joining midstream, how many we have left. So that was a little surprising to me. And so I contacted her and suggested that, maybe we could talk about it and that I would like her to come back. And she was very adamant that she
She would
had no interest in
Got it.
hearing from me ever again.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. And everybody thinks I'm hostile.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
That's good.
so I didn't really understand what that was.
Woo.
Wow.
Did you know
So-
her before?
No.
Well, maybe that's a
So
good
she wasn't
thing
in one of your
some ways.
groups?
No.
Did she use that word ever?
Yeah.
Acting out of something old to me.
Boy, oh boy,
It
you
does,
gotta
doesn't
get-
it, Walter?
you are getting it.
Holy
On
shit, that's
camera,
crazy.
she seemed very
Wow.
hostile to certain people, though, and I've never met her, so I have no idea who she
So
is.
so I think we've covered everyone.
Yeah.
So can we
Thank
dispense
you.
with the past?
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. Thank you.
We
Okay.
buried
So
the
this
dead.
Thanks,
is
Jen.
who we
Thank
have
you so much.
now.
Thank you.
This is our group
Okay.
now.
Yeah, cool.
Well, now we can move on to what Hello.
How
What do you
doing?
do, or what is your issue, or you better not leave us.
None of you better leave. You're stuck for the rest of the show.
I'm just basically gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna definitely join in and voice my opinion. Maybe if I relate, I can share my experience with you guys.
What kind of experience would that be?
Share it now.
Particularly with any issues that you may address, I may relate to it. I'm not particularly sure of what issues you may have.
Well,
'cause
like
I'm-
for example,
What?
the issues that we've just been talking
Abuse
about.
in childhood, for instance.
What are your issues?
Yeah, what are your issues?
What are my issues?
What
You were
attracts
abused
you
as
to
a
come to
child,
join the
you
group?
know.
I totally closed up when I'm asked that too. So
All right,
I know where he was
Today,
coming from.
You did
Oh, I didn't
very,
today.
very
Yeah,
good today.
man, well, I
I am
can't touch
very
you, but-
proud of you.
I
High
didn't
five.
today.
Yes, you did.
Maybe one particular issue that I have experienced the death of my mom, so I am coping with that.
When did she die?
In 2005, August. So
I can
So did
relate.
my
So
mom.
yeah, same year.
Same here.
yeah, same with me too.
So I am coping with that. It's a difficult process, but
Mhm.
that is one of my main issues.
You're such a soft-spoken, gentle
I love that.
individual. That's very
So you're
nice.
still you're in bereavement. You're still in bereavement and trying to deal with
Yes.
losing part of who you were.
Right, and
Because
trying
that's
to
part of it.
trying to gain another part.
It's
Oh.
hard. It's very hard.
It is. So that definitely is one of my issues.
Yeah.
And Molly?
Well, I've been wanting to start from the beginning. And, I mean, I have issues with depression. And I was thinking, I mean, I've done a lot of emotional work. And when I sort of come out of that, then I feel great. And then it seems like I get kind of pulled back into my ruts.
Do you take medications for that too?
No, I tried medications.
They don't work.
A lot of people say they don't.
It
They
just
don't work.
it just flattened me out, and it's sort of like it's still down there somewhere, and so you might as well just face your demons and get through it, and then move on.
Right. So easier said than done, right?
Well, but I think that, for example, what I was seeing today, it's like this is
you
great.
did good, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I
like
think so.
bring it on. you know?
That's like a real wrestling match, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not even a wrestling match. I think that people deny that they have all this hostile feelings,
Yeah.
and so
I
it's
agree with
easy
you.
to blame and not express it, and it's you can just see it and feel it, and then somebody brings it up in you. It has nothing to do with them.
Nothing. Nothing. at all.
Nothing. It's all transference from back, and like from when I can't even remember. It's like my father and I get along great, but I'm still mad at a man that no longer exists.
And when it's so beautiful, like when this moment that we just had, that I wanted to help you get through that, and now it's not an issue anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I was man. A little
Now
bit,
it's
maybe.
like, and now it doesn't mean it doesn't bother. It doesn't. Maybe it hopefully doesn't bother you as much.
Exactly.
And then next time, if
How about
say
that?
these 3 disappear
Then I'm gonna
and
get
10 more
pissed.
show up, you'll be able to deal with it far more. Like, okay, it'll roll off your back instead of being a. So I think that was really great.
Yeah.
I'm very
Going back to you,
proud
your
of you.
issue about depression, because I also have trouble with meds.
I thought we were coming back to her, Barbara, not you.
Are you the
Unrelated
fucking
to
It's all right.
assistant here? I mean, are you the co-host now? Because I was
Meds.
interested in
Well,
what you
actually,
said.
you're all co-hosts. You're
Well,
all
but I'm-
you're all
well,
therapeutic
Barbara, your
allies to each
question is?
other.
No,
So-
because
Kay,
you
the
brought up
answer is yes.
something
Okay,
that
thank you.
you brought up something a lot of people, because I was accused of, and she has said this, gee, how many meds are you taking? I said, probably not as many as you should be taking. This was in the beginning.
I saw
We
it.
all know yeah, you saw this. All right, meds are not what helps depression. I mean, they just came out with a study that antidepressants, and if you listen to the commercials, well, if you get suicidal thoughts, please call your doctor. And you're taking a pill to prevent that. But the problem is when you have to live without anything that can help you, because you're one of the 15% of the population that doesn't respond to medication.
I don't
It
think many
sucks.
people do. I mean, I really just think meds kind of mask all the issues, and that
Yeah.
if you can really face it and move through it without.
Molly, do you think you know
right
us?
on, right
well-
on.
Do you think you know us well enough to maybe tell us why you think you've been sad or depressed? I mean, can you?
I've been looking at this all my life, and I talked to a psychic, and she sort of said something that made the most sense to me. but I think it's multifactorial.
Isn't it genetic? Like there's nothing you really can do
It
about
may-
it?
Genetic.
You know, but you can change your genes.
Well, like,
Bottom-
what's
bottom-
genetic?
Bottom
Depression?
line is
Yeah.
that I'm
Yeah.
kind of a 90 or nothing kind of person, right? It's like I can cruise along at 9 miles an hour, and then I just don't manage my gas very well, and then all of a sudden I drop, and then I spend the next 3 weeks on the couch,
Oh.
right? But then it can build up from other things, like, you know, various disappointments can trigger it.
Environment has a lot
Such
to do.
as-
Molly, do you have kids or
No,
pets or
No.
distractions like that? Because
What-
a pet is a good. You know, I used to be very depressed until I got this. Well,
I
a
rode-
dog, and it got me out of bed every morning at 9 o'clock, and I had to take it out in rain or shine.
I
And
ro-
for that happened for 5 years until she died. She was a senior citizen. I got her when she was old, and that dog really snapped me into a you know, getting up and out and doing.
They help to a point, but you still need that human.
I
thing.
appreciate you trying to fix me. I had a
Yeah.
horse.
Oh,
For,
I didn't mean.
I had a horse for 10 years,
Oh,
and I could
wow.
get up and go ride,
Right, yeah.
and then come back and go to sleep.
Mhm.
It didn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I will get up and go to work, you know, for other people. But when it comes to doing the things that I want to do for myself, it's like
You need the energy.
I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, and I will get up and I mean, I work in the movie business, so I work 12 to
Yeah, you
14
work a
hours
lot
a day.
during
You
that
know,
business.
I
and
know what that feels like.
and for you know months on end. So
Yeah.
you know,
That's
I'll
right.
get up for other people,
Mhm.
and they pay me.
Right,
So,
right.
you know,
Isn't that pretty standard? I mean,
I
why
understand, but
that's
it,
pretty good.
it's not that I'm not functioning. It's not.
Right.
That's not the point. It's more the point of there's something. Okay, and then you go into the different theories. I mean, Jane, some people say that depression is anger turned inwards. Correct?
Right.
I
You
mean,
use the word disappointment, so.
I understand. I mean, I had.
I've heard that. I've heard it's anger turned inward, and I've heard it's feelings turned inward. And my experience with it, I have a fair share of it myself, is that it's really old feelings that are considerably more powerful than people seem to conceive of.
Mhm.
People think they feel, and people do feel feelings, but my understanding, my view, is that people feel a certain amount while they're keeping it at a certain key. Like either crisis or something, sometimes like a religious experience, if it goes on to the joyful side.
Are you
But,
bipolar?
Hmm?
No, I'm asking because
Good
What are you asking me?
Yeah, because you
If you're bipolar.
I don't have highs ever. I have all lows.
Are
So
you?
I'm like borderline personality disorder, where I don't have those highs where I'm going to do this and I'm going to fly and I'm going to I wish I had that. It doesn't happen.
I haven't been diagnosed by anybody professional as predominantly bipolar, but I feel like that does somewhat happen with me. But I don't care. I've been involved in primal therapy. I'm a member of the International Primal Association, so I really believe, like in deep feelings. I think most of the illnesses, and I don't mean like 74%. I mean like well over 90%, are basically emotions repressed. I wouldn't say there's nothing genetic or nothing that comes. Even for bacterial and viral things, our immune system is greatly affected more than is easy to be aware of by the repression that we learn so repeatedly, starting from before birth even, but especially at birth and in the hours and days after and in the first couple of years when we learn how to shh the tears and the screams according to a routine. So we get into a pattern. And the pattern has a lot of physiological correlates.
Well, there is a lot of speculation
That was a
that
mouthful. Thank you
environment
for listening.
has a lot to do with it too. You could still have genetics, but when people say that you can control your genetics, yeah, when it comes to eating, maybe you could try that. But if you live in a very hostile family environment, that will contribute to your depression. Trust
So,
me.
is anyone having any feelings at the moment?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes most of the people in the third world countries, like where there's millions, would give the depression would be a luxury. That kind of, you know what I mean? I mean, if you are, most people on this planet are worried about their next meal.
You don't think
And
they're
it's-
depressed about that? You
Yeah,
don't think
I
that
would-
all
yeah,
the
they're
poor
very
people out there?
depressed.
Yeah,
think-
but that we've maybe, I don't know whether we've evolved or maybe we just created a more comfortable environment where we can, I'm depressed and I'm
So,
this and
so
I'm that.
the last time you talked to Molly, it looked like you were feeling really sympathetic and really wanted to
do.
help her.
I do.
And now it sounds like Molly's probably not experiencing what you said as being very sympathetic.
Well,
Right.
I
It's
think you're
depression.
oversimplifying there, Kay. I think there are some in those third world countries, if it is,
They're very
that
depressed.
do have
No,
such
but
a
when you're worried
backlog
about
of
some-
emotional pain that in spite of the obvious
Depression
need
makes it
to
worse.
take care of this, get into action, take care of that, etc., they still get a fair share of the pain that just drags them down and makes them like have
Right.
no
Poverty makes
energy
it
and no
worse.
will.
Right,
Poverty makes it worse.
right.
I do
but-
want to say
so.
before we end, we have to stop in a minute, but I do want to say that I think that it's not an accident that psychotherapy, psychoanalysis is about 100 years old, and that it came as a cultural phenomenon of basically people having shelter, having enough to eat, and that there is something to be said about the luxury of the exploration of emotions.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And
Something to be said.
and that that doing this endeavor of looking into ourselves and understanding why we feel what we feel, that it's really pretty 21st century, and it's great, and we should all be doing it, us in this room and everybody on the outside too.
Bravo.
And accept us out there.
Thank you for sharing this session with me.
Is that going to happen today?
Yeah.
Do we have time?
We got time.
Yeah, we do.
I believe we have a minute
Oh.
left for this show.
We
Talk
do
about it
with
next
our
time for the
minute.
next show.
Well, the last question I asked was,
Luxury of
does anyone have any feelings?
Well,
I felt bad for her.
well, it's not that I feel bad, but anytime someone says, think of all the starving Armenians or something like
Yeah.
that, I think, for God's sakes, that is just lame. It's
Right.
like,
And sometimes when I hear, well, I can't get off my couch today, I have my fridge is full of food, and I got a case of beer downstairs, that sounds just as lame.
Well, the beer sounds great.
maybe so.
I,
But
I think the most conscious thing to do is think of the starving Armenians while you don't at all forget your own feelings.
Molly, the prevailing feeling that I'm having about you and your depression is that in the face of it, you feel really helpless.
yes.